Hello, everybody. This is Mickey Mao with CartoonMoneyPrinters.com. Today is April 11th, 2025. It's a Friday. I hope you guys are all doing well. Uh, I am with Astronaut Toad. Why don't you go and say hey?
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're surviving the market insanity lately.
Yeah. So what's the topic of tonight's show?
Well, our forecast has been coming true, and it's been pretty brutal. We're really at a crazy turning point for the market right now. No other way to really put it. The 2025 forecast that we drew on Bitcoin back in February, whenever this was. No, is this the end of the year? Beginning of the year? When did I draw this? I started this green line at the beginning of the year, and we kind of called it for 3 months, 4 months. Good grief. Uh, so this is a pretty good looking weekly candle. It's still got a couple of days left technically, but the stock market is closed for the weekend. So this candle right here it could be what we're hoping for. But the whole market is really at this critical juncture right here where let me hide all of this stuff. We've got all these guidelines. I'll put this in my monthly chart. Basically, what we're looking at is the whole crypto market depends on Bitcoin. And we're coming down to retrace this entire move up. We did not touch the old all-time high, as you saw. And we front ran this old all-time high from back here. And that is concerning. But this candle is looking decently strong. As you can see on my volume indicator, I have the volume candles kind of hidden. And actually, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On my chart, which is Binance, it got almost to the level, but not quite. It even to the FEG that I have there, and it just completely rejected it and stayed above the 200 VMA.
yeah. So what we're looking at is on our money minter D indicator, we're
Sorry,
looking at a
50
probable bullish divergence about to print. Like this is the low, the previous low here. This is the lowest low of this bunch. And then we're already below that low, the momentum wave down here. We're already below that low. All we need is a reversal above this level way down here, and we have a bullish divergence. Okay. That would be awesome. However, if we look at the monthly chart, we've got a bearish divergence that played out from this high. And as I marked it out on the chart here, a divergence, a good strong divergence is good for at least 10 candles. If you're counting in months, this divergence printed on February 1st. So we have until December 1st for the monthly candles could continue bearish. That's pretty terrifying for most people. But it kind of is in line with the possibility of chaos that we might have in the market for a while if these tariff situation keeps being crazy. We could expect 10-ish months of crazy chop. People don't like to hear that, but that's the case. When you have a divergence, we've measured this. divergences, strong divergences can be valid for up to 10 candles. So as we have said before with the 2025 forecast, I'll pull it up again. Like, I have this green, and let's change the color here. The green forecast is the less optimistic but still bullish and eventually forecast. Should I make it red? I'll make it red. This other forecast is the more bullish forecast that we're already dipping below this low. Oh, that was supposed to be green. So it could rocket from here, get back up to this level. This is a key level here. There's obviously a lot of trading going on at around 95, 96,000 on Bitcoin. And we could get up to that level and hold it and then be good. But we've been getting slapped by, where's my God lines? We've been getting slapped by this red line right here. And I'll pull up the smaller time frame chart next. But if this weekly candle closes above this red line, let me hide them all. Let me hide all the other ones. If this weekly candle closes above this red line, it is game on. And then we could see the better scenario. I think checking the Heikin-Ashi candles, we are headed for a squeeze on the weekly chart though. See how these orange lines, see how the purple lines are encroaching on the orange lines right here? That means that we are about to get a squeeze on the weekly chart is inevitable. We've already had a squeeze on the daily chart and it fired downward, but it faked out and is now headed back up with a bullish divergence. And we have, I believe, if I go back out of the regular, the Heikin-Ashi candles to the regular candles, we have already closed levels because, yeah, the way the smaller time frames are printing these, we have not yet closed a daily candle above, because this is the actual, let's see, I think I need to go down another time frame. This is the level. I'll make this one blue. That's the level drawn on the weekly or the monthly chart. This red level is a more precise level drawn on the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, and it is just now barely being broken up above. So we would want to come down and retest this red level, possibly retest the blue level, because the last time we got above it, it went right back down into this fair value gap, created another fair value gap. So we might come back down to this blue level and retest it. If we get down to 80,000, we will be looking for longs in this area as long as we get a bullish, strong bullish confirmation on the smaller time frames. So that's what I'm calling now, is there's a fair value gap. So this is where we do or die for Bitcoin, is right here. This fair value gap right here. And, give it a, let's see, Saturday night, Sunday morning, we might retest this blue line, and that, or if it retests, I'll give it 2 risk factors. I've been really happy with the indicator, the market smasher strategy, or now it's loaded up here. This is Astronaut Toad strategy 1.3. I've been really happy with it on the 1-hour chart. So if we get down here, I'll take a risk. If I see a 1-hour chart firing off here or down here, I'll take a risk and go long if I like what I see. This has got some strong correlation here. If we draw a horizontal line, you can see how this level has been a key level in the past. So right here, there's one long that I'll look for, and then down below. So 82,000 and 80,400, 80,300. Those are the levels that I'm going to be watching. The stock market is in a similar situation. Let's jump over to the NASDAQ, and you can see on the weekly chart this absolute meltdown that we've had that just sliced through all of this weekly liquidity. The weekly chart just got absolutely destroyed. So technically, the weekly chart is still bearish, very bearish. We should be looking at, let's draw a fib here. Here's our range. And then the range profile is, what are we on the weekly chart? Yeah. So technically, we should be looking for shorts above this level. Let's see, regular, no, not. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is the NAS 100. So if the NASDAQ gets up above 19,200 or the NQ, let's check the NQ. Probably a similar number, 19,381. Technically, we should be looking for shorts. This has got some inefficient price action way up here. It might rocket all the way up here and then give you that short. Let me pull up the how's it going? My computer seems like it might be getting slow. Is everybody still seeing my screen okay?
Yeah, we're looking good on my end.
Awesome. Yeah, so there's and the same thing's going for Bitcoin probably. Like, there's a long way to go before we're packing our moon bags and getting really excited again. And that makes sense because we've fallen such a long way. But these are the areas where finding a short is probably the correct thing to do, the responsible thing to do. So as much as this candle right here is very bullish, and I will expect the next week candle on the NASDAQ to get some upside, it's got to take out and get back in above equilibrium. I would expect the next week candle to get up above equilibrium, 19,400, possibly get all the way into official premium golden pocket, which is 20,070. That'd be pretty ambitious for the stock market to recover that high, especially with the volatility that we have been seeing with tariffs being on, off, fake news. Like, don't expect a 6.6% bump in the NASDAQ next week, but it could be possible. So both markets, the stock market and crypto, are in this do or die situation. And unfortunately, they have both front run key levels on NAS. Remember, Bitcoin didn't touch that old all-time high. Well, the stock market has a similar situation here where there's this old low and it just didn't touch it. And then there is this old high, all-time high, that did not get touched. So it's really like this weekly candle and the next weekly candle are gonna be pretty decisive. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm only optimistic, up to here. I gotta draw this value cap again. Like, I'm optimistic. I think we have a good chance at pumping, but as soon as price gets up here, like, we're supposed to be looking for shorts for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm taking it one trade, one day at a time, and just trading my strategy. That's what I've been telling everybody in the Discord this whole week, because it's been absolutely crazy. one trade at a time. Don't get too emotionally attached to any trade or any price level. You think, oh, it's got to reverse here. It's been crashing all day. Surely this one bullish divergence, and then you get stopped out, or you move your stop loss or whatever. Like, we're witnessing actual market manipulation. Like, I don't know if everybody's paying attention to politics and stuff, as you should right now, at least. But like, we're seeing some pretty crazy, unprecedented stuff going on, is what I always say. Like, whether or not you like or support the president, you cannot deny that we are seeing. The best way to describe what we're seeing in the market right now is insane volatility. Okay. And when that's happening, you must be careful. We're doing really amazing on our strategy. Since last week, since we last streamed, we've had the 1 hour chart has given 2 shorts. They were full profit shorts, meaning if you take the short as the strategy says, your stop loss is usually somewhere up above the orange blob. Come on. And then somewhere around here is your first TP right there. But then this goes all the way. You get your runner. You're in for 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk reward. And then this one gives you another one. This short was nice, but it reversed right after it, which was obvious because you got these bullish divergences on the money minter. So in this trade, move that stuff. Once you take profits, either close the whole entire trade here and get your 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, or close half the trade and move your stop loss to break even or into slight profit. I like to trail the blue line here. That's my favorite moving average to trail for a runner. But you can also trail the outside edge of the orange line here. This is a Keltner channel. Giving away my secrets here. But these were great trades this past week. And also on the 1 minute chart, we had some good trades the past week. I'll pull up the strategy tester. Yeah, the 1 minute chart, not doing so good. The drawdown was pretty bad for the gains, but that's only 16 trades on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, the Heiken Ashi candles aren't as friendly on the 1 hour. I mean, the 1 minute. Only 4 trades, but 50% win rate. Very, very simple, straightforward strategy. The 1 hour chart is where things are getting awesome.
Froggy, why? You're ducking on us.
This is what I'm really happy and excited about. The strategy, the Astronaut Toad strategy, is doing really well. Max drawdown of $400 and total P&L of $1,200. That is a that's a 3x return on your risk for your max drawdown. And that's across 81 trades. So we're getting really close to as close to consistent as you can possibly call it. Oh my god. Who's playing with the sound effects? Is that you or?
No, that's Froggy. He's fucking with us. That's what the market's doing right now.
We got a, do we have a bloodbath sound effect to play?
We got a bunch of probably rated R ones that aren't good for a live stream.
Oh yeah, okay. So, I've just been trolling the, oh wow, look at that, 1 inch, 4 trades, 100% profitable. Bam. Very nice. So, oh, 8, that's hilarious. Hey, we got an active trade on APT. Very nice. Here you can see how it works now. This is how the sausage is made. It's showing the stop loss level. It's showing the profit target, and we are almost to the profit target. Looking like it might, the money minter might be giving us a bullish divergence. So I might, if I was in this trade, I might close it right here. Let's look at the par. Yeah, hard to say. It's kind of getting bull div-ish. But the 3060 is still slamming. Cool. Oh yeah, let's also check the par and pivots for BTC. These are all hour indicators, by the way. If you all want the... Oh my, what's going on here? If you all want any of these indicators, we have the Market Smasher, the Money Minter, the par, and the Pivots Extreme. They're all in the private Discord, and we have multiple strategies that we are using. How come my man, did I mess up the par and pivots? I'm so sad. I gotta rebuild par and pivots. Can't even select this one now. It's gone. What happened?
There we go. Okay, so I just added a feature to this live stream so I can actually show the songs that are playing. It took me a minute, but I got it going. All
Oh,
right.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, so we can actually like give them some love. Um it's about
Yeah, par and pivots is broken. Sorry, guys.
our,
Oh, no, there it is. It's extreme.
is the par down for you?
Yeah, looking at the pivots.
Give a good command R to Training View.
Yeah,
You'll
let's see
probably want
here.
to save what you're working on though.
Oh, we got autosave. Yeah,
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
It didn't save it. No.
it went back to Smasher.
I'm pretty sure Command Z should get you back to where you were.
That is so weird. I'm not using my VPN right now, am I? No.
It could be something like your phone's not in airplane mode, so it's blocking the signal or intercepting it.
All right, let's try that. Yeah. Anyways, looking at the BTC pivots, we're bullish. We just got above the weekly pivot. I believe this pink one is. And we're above the daily pivot. And then we've got a really tight 4-hour pivot that is, we're below. So I would expect this to continue lower, try and retest this pivot level here. I don't know why. Oh, there's something weird going on here. Open the run. That is weird. So yeah, the pivots levels. It would make sense that you see how this recent high situation that we had here, this cup and handle or bowl or whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm waiting for is over the weekend. We'll see a retest of this level 82,700 and 800 somewhere around here. See if this holds. There is a fair value gap down here that I'm not really happy about on the 5-minute. Let's see what the 15-minute says. Yeah. So this is where we stand on the pivots levels. Really untouched 4-hour pivot down here. So yeah, honestly, just looking at it overall, I am bullish because of where we are at locally. But at the same time, I don't think we're headed straight back to the all-time high from here. I think that whatever's going on politically, geopolitically, global economics, I think we've got a lot more rough times ahead. And what the crap is this nonsense? Oh, the volume. That's annoying. Oh, I know what to do. And now it's just totally... Wow.
There, perfection.
All right, let's see. Move to existing pane above. There we go. That's so weird. I had an empty pane with no indicators in it. That's so weird. So here we are
You might
on
want to make sure
this.
that your trading view is updated. Not
Yeah,
now,
I'll update trading.
when you're off
I'll
stream.
update trading view after this stream. That's really weird. So all in all, like we were saying earlier, I am pretty optimistic, but I think we're going to get some serious resistance up here. I think Bitcoin's going to struggle at 96,700 or so. I bet if I draw a range from this level, from here to here, we'll probably see that, yeah, right there's the point of control for that situation. And it's going to give us a lot of resistance. It's not going to be easy to get up past these levels, because this is when things started really going south. Late February, when the whole world started realizing that the tariffs were serious, and it just absolutely crashed. It tried to recover, could not get back up to the point of control. So you know that there is a ton of short liquidity here. Lots of big players defended this level, okay? So if price gets up here, it's going to have a vacuum effect and just really vacuum through, suck up all this liquidity, because there's a ton of shorts with their stop losses above this level. They think this is a defended level, and price can never get up here. So what happens when a short gets stopped out? They are forced to buy. That's how you exit a short, is you buy. When people are forced to do something they don't want to do, that's when you see a snowball. Those are the two times that the market moves unbelievably, like jaw-droppingly, shocking market moves. Those are the two times, is when people are absolutely terrified, or when they are forced, or they have no choice, they are being liquidated, long or short. That's when the market really turns into a runaway train. And I'm just seeing these ranges, these pivot ranges, just kind of marching upward gradually. See how these weekly pivots, the downsides, they're just erratic and going all over the place. There is a downside that could, like, if this crashes, you got to watch out all the way down at 70,000 or whatever. But on the upside, it's just kind of marching up. And I think if it gets up to 94, 95, 96, there's gonna be some crazy buying, which will be short liquidations right between this level. But I just don't see it going straight back to the all-time high. I imagine that it will get lots of rejection and it'll be just a bloodbath for a while. Does anybody want to look at any specific coins, or
I want to check out
do
the
we want to have
yuan.
any? Oh yeah, let's check out yuan. Forex or yuan bond?
Might as well. Hmm. Wow, it's a really fresh currency, huh? Is this a good exchange to get the data from?
No, I don't know about the forex.
Yeah, just type in forex and yuan. I can look up the acronym real quick. Just type in Y. There's so many currencies. Let me see.
This is spooky that it's not like right there.
Yeah. It's CNY.
There we go. CNY. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Oh boy. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So that ain't good.
This
Not
chart
for
just
not for the
reads
US at
manipulation
least.
to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I mean, the forex charts, I don't know how good the old data is, but this is just screaming breakout. We're definitely at a do or die moment here on this chart. Let's pull up the oh no, I want to switch back price action reader. Okay, save that.
CNY.
Yeah. So back in March, it had this bottoming out situation here. And bullish divergence there. Money flow reversed. Money flow is good. We got another bull div printing right here. Daily chart. It almost had a squeeze right there, but not quite. Weekly chart squeeze. Money flow is positive. Bearish divergence, but it's nearing the end of its 10 candle range. Ay, ay, ay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you're onto something, Mickey. This is not good for the US. I don't know
Why?
how else to put it. Wait, we're uh I'm thinking in reverse terms. This is USD CNY.
Yeah.
So Oh, this is not good for China
Yep,
then.
that's where I was. Yeah, I think China is a paper dragon, and then we're pretty much calling their bluff, and they're gonna see a fucking dump in their value of their currency.
Uh, yeah. So this is what I'm seeing right here. This breakout is just right to shoot up. Okay. This is obvious. Like I could call this and say, based on the market smasher strategy, if this had squeezed right here, we would put the stop loss below the orange blob, and then our long target would be at least 1 to 2. So, oh man, why is my computer lagging?
It's looking okay to
This
on
is
my
so
end.
much. Yeah, it's just super unhappy with me.
I know on Mac there's
Close
this
down the
really
other
neat
window.
little C cleaner. It's not actually C cleaner, but it cleans your C drive and clears up your RAM so you can actually perform better. I saw it used before by
Yeah,
somebody, and it was actually pretty cool. But since I don't deal in Mac world, I'm not sure what it is or how to get it. But I'm assuming you can get it in like the App Store or whatever comparable thing to Mac is. And it's called like C
yeah,
drive cleaner or something, RAM destroyer.
yeah. Okay.
The RAM smasher.
I did recently download a. I did recently get my hard drive pretty close to full because I did a huge photography adventure.
Oh, cool.
So I got a few hundred more gigabytes of storage consumed. I don't know. I'll see how that. I'll see. But anyways, here's the thing. Based on the strategy, if this were to have gone A right here, then we would be expecting this to get up to 7.55. However, the oh no, we got a oh no, weekly breakout too. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's go down below the edge, the leading edge of the orange blob. And then we drag that up to a good grief. I'm gonna drop it down. This, can you hear me?
Yeah.
And now we're looking at an 8.0 on the weekly breakout. And this actually has the potential to go A++ in the next week or two. That's big. But looking at this situation here, see this bearish divergence that played out? Then that dropped crazily. We are well below this level here. So this is what I want to watch for if this starts breaking out. We got this rollover on the momentum waves, and that could be a bearish divergence if we are not careful. So that's the level we got to watch because this could roll over below this line and above that high, and then we're back down. Because just looking at the weekly chart, you know that there's tons of liquidity down here. If the US wants to win, then you know, strong economy, whatever, I don't know, tariffs. I'm not an economist, but this could rip.
Okay.
But if
So
something happens and doesn't go well, there's a lot of like this is a classic lots of liquidity down here, and we could be looking at another crash.
I'm gonna tell you this. The scuttlebutt from things that I've been saying is with the tariffs climbing, and it's essentially effectively a full-on hot trade war between the U.S. and China, and the U.S. is isolating ancillary nations that are trading with China, so China doesn't essentially backdoor the tariffs. Um, they are sitting on a export glut, so they're having a hard time getting import of raw materials in order to produce their products, and they're sitting on exports that they can't get rid of. And from the factory workers' perspective, they're like we're about to see a whole fuck ton of Chinese businesses go under.
Yeah, and they're not going to sit around and just let that happen. That's my concern. They're going to go to war. They're going to do something dumb like invade Taiwan or
They'll
whatever.
do something kinetic. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think this is a like no doing the research that I have on the Chinese, like they are shrewd like negotiators. They are hard to do deals with. So by doing this, I think it's going to drive them to the negotiating table, and I really think that we will get some concessions from them because um, the I'm not sure how true this is, but they're considered the paper dragon in more ways than one. I've heard rumors that they've also been lying about their population numbers, and so if that's the case, then they must have a god awful birth rate with that one child policy that they've had uh, in place until recently. It was like 30 years of that policy.
Yeah.
So they've got this aging population that's aging out, and I think they're in for a really tough couple decades. Um,
Yeah, from what I know, living here in Southern California, there's a ton of Chinese nationals. Um, I agree with everything you're saying, and we can all only hope that China comes to the negotiating table and we quote unquote win. And the chart seems to support that outcome, but the chart is also leaving room for the potential in a really serious breakdown. Because this is a classic example of all this liquidity is stacked up down here, and it could, like, if this doesn't work out and people don't come to the table, then this will be a classic example of liquidity your grab above the high and then zap. And I think this will be decided just looking at the chart, not paying attention to any plans, meetings on the calendar or whatever, negotiations, just looking at the chart. I think we'll see movement, good or bad, within the next week. Definitely by this time next month, we will have a much clearer picture.
yeah, and based on like there's suspensions in a lot of places, but he's been doubling down against China, and China's been inversely doubling down against the U.S. So I think the broader global economy will probably weather the storm because I don't think this administration wants to completely destabilize the economic um, um, paradigm. If anything, I think it's to essentially bring nations to the negotiating table uh, to a more beneficial agreement. And if we could somehow square away like a zero tariff across the board, like that would be the most epic win, and we'd see a freaking economic golden age in the world. But I don't think that's realistic by any means because each nation has different supply demand issues, and the United States with this administration, they're pulling away. Supposedly, the scuttlebutt is that they're pulling away from the income tax structure of our revenue generation, and we're moving towards a tariff-based one, similar to how the United States operated in the early 1900s, even coming from the 1800s into the 1900s. It was the government was pretty much funded by tariffs. So it's not a tool that's um, new or novel. It is a very old tool that we just haven't seen in modern history being implemented in this way. And
Yeah.
like other nations, like Canada, like they've been tariffing us like on some products like 300%, some ridiculous like huge number, to the point where it cuts out the American market in Canada. So all the products that we produce here aren't getting across the border to Canada because they're priced out. They're completely priced out. So if by some means to an end we get these tariffs completely down, that'll increase the market, uh, the entire I guess scope of the market for American goods and products. So we'll be able to reach more people with goods and services, which would be a boon to to the U.S. economy. So, from the moves that have been made,
Yeah.
to give a brief synopsis, for the moves that have been made, it's short term pain for if it pans out correctly for long term gain for the United States specifically. And I think with that, the rest of the world, because you know that the pendulum will swing, other parties will get into positions of power, and then we'll start funding their wars, other nations' wars. You know, we'll start bankrolling again, and wars is just an
I don't
example,
know.
not literally wars, but
Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar looks like it's gonna getting ready to rip.
yeah. One thing with having a strong
That's a
currency
trend
is
line.
one thing with having a strong currency is it's
Ooh.
hard to conduct international trade. If your currency is too strong, then you're not going to be able to like essentially trade for goods and services as easily. So you want to keep your currency fairly low compared to other currencies that you're trading manufactured goods with.
I don't know about this, man. This is a classic bottoming out pattern here. The squeeze went south. It bull dived, and it's ripping back up.
Consolidation, manipulation. We're going into distribution.
Yeah, it's still got to get above this fair value gap and above this trend line. So we're on the monthly chart. So Canada. So Canada's got 1, 2, 3 months to keep this momentum up. But the momentum wave rolled over. We got a green dot here. And this is a pretty dang strong candle. So honestly,
I don't know.
I think Canada might come out on top in some way or another.
Canada needs to
They're looking
get back into Alberta and start getting those oil sand fields and mining the shit out of that and selling it. And if they can negotiate with the United States and sell it to the United States, we could become very awesome trade partners, and Canada would become very wealthy. Those shale fields. So there's definitely opportunity for Canada to grow economically. They have vast resources. They just don't have the manpower to. It's the same issue that Russia has, where they just don't have the manpower to essentially, you know, increase their market share in any given sector to dominate the world supply.
Yeah. The Japanese yuan or yen. Yuan, yeah. Honestly, the US dollar is looking like it might crash versus Japan.
I think Japan has its own issues. Let me see here. Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so the Japanese stock market is in a similar crazy situation. But they are same as the US stock market. Like they grab liquidity. Oh no, they front run this low. That's scary. Yeah, more downside before we can really be hopeful, honestly. It
yeah.
did tap the old all-time high there. That's nice. But no revisiting of this orange blob. I do like my orange blob as a support. Draw that in. So that's a magnet down there. So the Japanese stock market could take some more beating before it gets better.
Why does it look like Bitcoin?
Well, maybe Satoshi is Japanese.
I know that looks like the same price action that Bitcoin went through, minus that fucking god awful wick a few months ago.
I think, yeah. Anyways,
All right, you want to call it here?
I'm bullish for right now, but I'm not that bullish for the bigger picture.
I got a link for you. I'm not sure if you can pop this up in your screen share, but
Oh yeah, I don't have any browsers open.
yeah, it was essentially the Japanese M2 money supply, and as
Oh,
of
the chart.
yeah, I'm trying to read this and understand this. They can't have 1.25 million Japanese yen.
Monthly chart only, huh? That's an interesting chart.
Do you want to do one of your spaghetti charts with all the currencies
Oh yeah, let's pick out the spaghetti.
and then as well as maybe some exchanges, Nasdaq, the Nikkei. I'm not sure what the Chinese exchange is called.
Yeah.
Because I think if I remember correctly, Japan was having inflationary issues.
Yes. So here's what we're looking at with that. DXY dropping, gold stable, Hong Kong, China. The Chinese, the HK50 is charging. What's CLK? I think that's another Chinese one. Oh no, that's oil. Is that oil? And then NKM205. That's the Japanese market. Honestly, the biggest thing here that I'm noticing is, yeah, we had a crash there.
What the fuck is
We had that pump the
HXC?
other day. Huh?
What is HXC?
HXC?
Yeah. It's the gold line, and it's just like this random horizontal line. Like there's two of them.
Oh, those are exchanges that have closed hours and they gap up. So when the
Oh shit. Okay, I
exchanges,
didn't realize you were on the 5 minute. I thought that was the monthly. I was like, what the fuck is that?
oh yeah, yeah, we could go to the daily chart and see probably some better. Oh, look at gold.
Wow.
Okay, so here, let's go to the beginning of the year. Where is 2025? So the NASDAQ is the candles. I'll change that. Do it light blue like it should be. S&P 500 is red. Yeah, so China tried to HK50 and HXC, those are Chinese indices. They had a great run. Like, this is probably why the tariffs did not be like, oh yeah, we're just bluffing. This is probably why Trump was like, yeah, tariffs. Because look at the Chinese market and it's doing better than gold, while all the others are just flip-flopping all of February into March and just barely hanging on. And then bam, that basically the US said, no, we're taking you all down. Everybody's going down with this sinking ship if we're gonna whatever. And then of course it crashes and then gold goes back up. Gold is up 23% on the year.
What is that percentage drop of the HXC or HK?
Okay, from that high to the lowest low, that's a 24%, 20
Oh,
to 24% crash.
that's
That's
savage.
brutal.
Wow.
But then again, like the Japanese market was down 22% on the whole year at one point before it bounced. That's nuts too. The NASDAQ took a hit from the high to the low that is also 22%. So it's not that different. It's just that the Chinese markets got way up far away.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
The takeaway here the only thing that I can really see is we should have bought gold at the beginning of the year.
No, right? Oh, by the way, PAX G is now listed on Hyperliquid.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of my favorite things to tell everybody about. Such an evangelist for that. I don't get any referrals or I don't benefit from this at all, but all my friends and everybody, I tell them like, hey, do you own gold? And they're like, no, I don't want to have an ounce of gold laying around my house. You know how bad crime is in Southern California? And I'm like, dude, just go on your wallet. Like it's on some of the wallets. Atomic Wallet is a great one, and there's a bunch of others. I think MetaMask or Phantom or some of the others might have it. Um, but you just buy PAX G as a coin, and then you have exposure to the price of gold.
Yeah.
So what about the pharmacies you go to and buy the gold at the pharmacies? Is that feasible?
At a pharmacy?
I don't know exactly where you live, and don't say it live on the air. But my
Okay.
problem with that is you do not want like if there is a gold ATM or whatever at anywhere, you are going to be followed home.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
just sounds like a terrible idea.
yeah.
Whatever you do, don't do something where you could be followed home and killed for an ounce of gold or a gram of gold or whatever. Like there's just so much better, easier, safer ways to get exposure to
You
that.
know I'm laughing.
Like,
No. I was gonna say, if you do go to a official gold dealer somewhere, you can always keister it, and then it's safe.
yeah, again, I'd rather just buy some crypto. That
Yeah.
sounds like more fun.
Well, if you stick an ounce in the bungie, I'm sure you'll be fine. Like you could probably couch that until you get home. And if somebody tries to rob you, just be like, "I didn't buy anything. I was just window shopping." I doubt if somebody
Yeah, I
robs
just went
you,
into
they're gonna want to check in your butt.
sell my wedding ring after my divorce.
Today was a good day.
Anyways, this is a very interesting, insightful chart here. It does look like the HK50 is bouncing pretty nicely. All the markets are bouncing kind of nicely, but I don't know. It's got a long way to go before we can really be bullish again. And I say we got months to go.
I would agree. I would say we got 8 or 9 months of pain before it actually starts making a
Accumulation?
solid turnaround.
Let's look at the
What's
crypto.
like 8 months of accumulation?
I think it'd be 8 months of distribution because it's distributed.
No,
So I shouldn't be accumulating in the 8 months.
I think we've passed from
Accumulation.
those things, and now we're kind of looking at what I'd call reaccumulation.
I'm
Because
still
we're
trying to
coming
buy.
off an all-time high. Yeah, look at all these cryptos. Oh man, this is just bloodbath. Hey, hype is doing good. Look at that, man.
Is
Look
that
at
hype?
that.
Is the red one hype?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at all these,
Wow.
all the total trash meme coins, Peanut, Popcat, Ape. They're all just absolutely trumped 80%. Oh, that's so bad. Rune 79%, 80%.
Oh, look
My
at
at one point my biggest holding was Rune. Yeah. At one point.
Do you guys have any questions? I think we should probably call it here.
Yeah, it's dinner time here in Pacific time zone.
What time is it there?
Looking at the yearly chart, I think the takeaway for crypto right now is if we're at a good zone where it could turn around from here. If that is the case, and even if it isn't, this is a good accumulation zone. When that is the case, what do you want to accumulate? The strongest coins. Looking at the spaghetti chart, we can see the strongest coins are XRP, BNB, Hype, Sui.
LTC.
So we got a mix of some coins like the decentralized exchange coins, because decentralization is the future, and some of these other coins like the global finance coins like XRP, Cardano. Somebody was mentioning Cardano in the private Discord, and I agree that it could have a pump. But and then Ondo and Tau, those are DeFi coins, right? Or DPIN, I forget which, but either way, good investment. Not financial advice, but a good hodl for your long-term crypto gambling. And that's it. That's where we're at for the week, and probably for the rest of the month.
Yeah. As far as my geopolitical sort of insight into this, I would suspect about 8 to 10 months of pain if the trade negotiations don't go well. But at any point, if some deal, some massive deal is reached, I think we'll see a massive spike and we'll pull out of the rut. And so I think that would be the news that I would be looking for. Yeah, 10 months. Yeah. I mean, 8 to 10 months. This isn't a proper correction. This is a manufactured correction, if we'd even call it a correction.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's artificially manipulated, it brings a whole different element into it as opposed to a natural or more natural correction. And so if negotiations sour and we don't get any trade deals, then the whole world's going to be in pain for about 8 to 10 months. But let's just say there's a new trade agreement between some of the G8s or even some of the G20s. Like that would be freaking massive, and it would probably
Yeah.
counter the BRICS maneuvers that Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are involved with. So I think that's like one of the major plays that they're trying to do is they're trying to essentially stymie the BRICS operation.
And they may very well succeed at that, but I don't like how they're playing chicken risk World War III to get there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes with the
M-
territory. Go ahead.
my thing is I just don't like we have clear allies, right? We know who our allies are, right? We could play as much chicken as we want with our allies, but we know who our allies are. I'm pretty sure we all know who our allies are. And we know who people that want to hurt us are China, certain people. I just find it weird that we're not like focusing on our enemies.
Yeah, I think there was a like there's a reset happening with the
And
well,
and don't get it twisted. Like I'm not like I'm from Canada, right? So I'm if an American president is trying to do better for America, I'm not against that. I'm not if a Canadian president comes and tries to do better for Canada, I'm obviously for that. So I'm not like I don't hate Donald Trump because he's trying to do better for America. I just don't like the way he's going about it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
that's a fair, yeah.
Yeah, that's where
totally
we stand right now. Is like, is
Because
it
I do
actually?
have family in America. I have a sister. I have family in America. Like I want to see them prosper, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
that's
totally
the big
agree.
question. Is it actually going to work, or is this just crazy? That's what everybody's asking, and they're smart to ask that question.
Um,
And as a trader, I can't answer that question. I can only look at the chart and say, here's what the technical analysis tells me, and I'm just going to take it one day at a time, one trade at a time.
yeah, I think on the
As, we're-
whole,
as we said before, they were in uncharted territory, so you can't be like risking too much in these times, right? If you
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
you're risking your own risk kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I will say this though. I think that this is going to be a once in a generation opportunity for myself in order to essentially start positioning myself as a 20 to 45-year-old in that range to start getting exposure to the market and buying
It's not.
some-
I do agree.
yeah, it's not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, now is a great buying opportunity. So that's the way I'm looking at it. We don't get very many of these events, and when they do, everybody, the atypical person out there is going to sell when they get scared, and then buy at the top. And
On
that's
top,
the
yeah.
average trader out there. So if you can invert that thinking, and get your education on with us at cartoonmemoryprinters.com, um, you could see that whenever there's a scary time in the stock markets, that there's opportunity there. So it's essentially you got to like judo the psychology of what the market's actually doing.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. It's just that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, let's call it here. Thank
Have
you,
a good night,
everybody.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We live stream to Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, and X. We live stream all at once to all those platforms. We're probably going to be switching up our live stream schedule, so we're probably going to do Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays because these Friday night live streams aren't getting a big turnout, and I think it'd probably be beneficial for the group if we get a week open live stream. So I think
Yeah, I'm thinking that we'll
Go ahead.
do a live stream on Sunday afternoon or evening to kind of open the week, and then I will also keep trying to do as many as 3 or 4 live streams just for the private Discord community at market open New York time, while I possibly trade live NASDAQ or Bitcoin, either one, and also just take questions and hang out with the private Discord members.
Yeah. So join today. Go to www.cartoonmoneyprinters.com. Click the Start Now button, and you can come join us on those in-house sessions. So
yeah, come hang out with us, you guys. It's been really scary, crazy times lately, but we have been doing great. The strategies that we use, they're very easy to learn, and they have been printing money with this market volatility. It's scary, but we have episodes in the archive of self-discipline and emotional, psychology of trading and all of that stuff. We have the education. You can learn the strategies. You can learn how to not freak out when the market's going nuts. And if you can do that, these strategies that we're using are really doing well for us right now.
Yeah.
I hate to say it when I know people are freaking out about their 401ks, but volatility equals trades.
Yeah. It's that simple. So, all right. Well, thank you.
No,
everybody.
honestly, I want to thank you guys again for helping out with the trading.
Oh yeah.
Especially the psychology. You guys have been helping out a lot with that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys have been really helpful with that.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
we
man.
Definitely do.
I enjoy hanging out in the mornings with you. I'll see you then.
All right.
All right, you guys have a good night.